loved King of the Ring 2001 when I was a kid. I'd only been a fan for a year and I was still young and therefore stupid. I genuinely believed that Rhino was going to be King of the Ring because who could stop Rhino? Oh no, I thought as a stupid young tit, my favourite Edge might not win, but then he did, boys and girls, what a day. Also, Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon was the tits, was the absolute tits. The glass, the shooting star on the trash can, the tits forever. I'm Plumpy from WhatCulture.com and here are 10 fascinating facts about King of the Ring 2001. Number 10, it's the only King of the Ring without Jerry Lawler. You're not a king, I'm a king. Ha ha, priceless. Trust me, I know what it takes to be a king. Ha ha, excellent. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one king around here. Ha ha, patter for days. Some wrestlers have an event that always sees them do well. For Undertaker, it's WrestleMania. Randy Orton frequently pulls a blinder at Survivor Series, and Hulk Hogan never lost at SummerSlam. While Jerry Lawler may not have always walked out of King of the Ring happy, in fact, he's never actually won a match at the event. Think about it. He's vomited on the pay-per-view more times than he's actually won. But he's always been involved, save for 1 year, 2001. Lawler had walked out the company in February of that year over the firing of his then wife Stacey the Cat Carter. He wouldn't return until the night after Survivor Series months later. Number 9, Kurt Angle was concussed during his match with Christian. Kurt Angle may have spent the first few years of his WWE career as a gurning goofball prude, but at no point, on no single day of Kurt Angle's life, did he stop being the toughest son of a bitch in America. Not only did Angle wrestle 3 matches at King of the Ring 2001, with the last one being a motherfucking street fight, but he did so after getting concussed in the first of those matches. In his semi-final against Christian, Angle's head smacked the canvas following an overhead suplex, knocking him for 6. Did it show? Did it Number 8, Angle was the first defending king to make the finals in 8 years. In the history of King of the Ring on pay-per-view, only one man has made the finals after being crowned king, and that man is Kurt Tough Son of a Bitch Angle. To see someone repeat the honor, you have to go back to the untelevised 6 tournaments held prior to the 1993 pay-per-view. Obviously, Bret Hart won back-to-back tournaments in 91 and 93, and before that in 1988, Randy Savage defended the crown he'd won a year earlier in 1987. Number 7, DDP wanted to feud with The Rock. Poor Diamond Dallas Page. In WCW, he was a total legend. Not only was he an multiple world champion and gave Goldberg his best match ever, you heard me, but did all of that after starting wrestling in his late 30s like a total maniac, because the dude works hard and takes no shortcuts. Perhaps that's the reason why DDP was one of the few top WCW names to take a buyout of his Time Warner contract, which otherwise would have let him earn money sitting at home and come work for Vince. Then, to say thank you, they turned him into a creepy-ass stalker. Thanks, DDP. Appreciate the work ethic, pal. However, the whole stalking Sarah thing wasn't the angle that DDP originally wanted for his debut, believe it or not. Instead, the master of the Diamond Cutter pitched a storyline to work with The Rock, but let Vince talk him into the Undertaker story. Good call. Number 6, the wrong glass was used for the entranceway. King of the Ring 2001 is famous for one match and one match only. Sure, Edge won King of the Ring. Sure, Austin versus Jericho versus Benoit sounds amazing on paper, but no one outperformed Angle and Shane in their beautiful street fight. And the most infamous moment of that match? The glass. The evil glass. The show's set featured several panels of white sugar glass, a brittle glass-like substitute that's used in movie stunts so actors don't cut their arteries open in a million places. Well, at least it should have been sugar glass. It wasn't. The prop guy responsible for ordering it accidentally ordered a stronger substitute, and in doing so, nearly murdered his boss's son. No Christmas bonus for you, friend. Number 5, Shane insisted on going through the glass. So we've all seen it. Kurt Angle picks Shane up for an overhead belly-to-belly. Shane hits the glass does not break. Shane falls and lands on his head, giving him the mother of all concussions. On the second attempt, Shane went through. Then the spot called for Shane to be thrown through a second panel of glass. The first attempt? Nope. The second attempt? No. At this point, the inside of Shane's head is starting to resemble an orchestra falling down the stairs. For the sake of Shane's health, and again, not murdering his boss's son, Kurt tried to whisper to Shane to just drop the spot. According to Angle, Shane cussed him out and ordered him to try again. Kurt picked Shane up, threw him through the glass, and finally, it broke. Number 4, Vince considered stopping the match because his son might have been murdered. Now, there's one thing we can all agree on, and that is each and every member of the McMahon family is a nut bar. Vince has bled like a faucet for his business. Stephanie's bumped around. Linda took stunners and tombstones. And Shane, poor goddamn Shane McMahon, has leapt from the top of 20-foot structures, all in the name of entertaining you awful people. With that in mind, considering the extremes this family will go to, it should speak volumes about the state of Shane that Vince almost walked out there and personally stopped the match. In his own words, I was very, very close to walking out there and just stopping it. Number 3, Benoit was added to the main event because of Triple H's injury. At WrestleMania X7, the top babyfaces in the WWE were The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. 24 hours later, one of them was gone for months filming a bad movie, and the other was the top heel. Then, after Judgment Day, Triple H got injured, leaving a significantly depleted main event scene going into King of the Ring. After running through The Undertaker, who was the only truly viable top face at the time, Austin put the gold up against Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit. The original plan was Austin would have an extended feud with Y2J, and Benoit was to have a program with Triple H. However, after Trips detonated his quads in a fantastic match on Raw, Benoit was hastily inserted into the main event of King of the Ring, a fact that crushed Chris Jericho, who had been dying to show what he could do in a singles world championship main event. Number 2, Booker T injured Austin's hand during his run-in. The most significant spot of the main event, other than the move to Chris Benoit, which we'll get to, was Booker T making an impromptu appearance, attacking Austin and planting him through the announce table. Sucker. Unfortunately, the announce table hates wrestlers and will not play your games. Because the announce table hadn't been stripped of its covering and monitors prior to being broken, Austin landed on it awkwardly, breaking his hand, the poor rattlesnake. Bruce Pritchard told Booker backstage that he should pack Austin's bag to make amends for the incident, which Booker refused to do, though he did apologize to Stone Cold once he made it to the back. And number 1, Chris Benoit missed a year of action after the match. While Stone Cold walked away from the King of the Ring with a busted mitt, Chris Benoit had to take a year away from wrestling to have spinal surgery. While Benoit's injury actually began as a result of an awful headbutt in TLC 3 on SmackDown a month earlier, it was exacerbated badly at King of the Ring. Benoit hit a back suplex off the top rope on Chris Jericho, and the move broke his neck. Benoit wouldn't be seen on WWE programming for a full year, wrestling his first match back on the July 1st episode of Raw in 2002.